everyone, it's Diego Reyes for CNN Philippines 10, where we break down major stories from here and abroad into bite-sized facts in 10 minutes. Suroy-Suroy Sugbo, Cebu's flagship tourism program, makes a pitch to promote lesser explored places in the province. The term, which means Explore the Midwest, is a 3-day tour that was held from June 10 to 12. After 2012, editions of the Suroy-Suroy program were limited to beaches and churches in southern and northern Cebu, Bantayan Island, and the Camotes group of islands. This year, 200 guests explored the towns of Tabuelan, Tuburan, Asturias, Aloginsan, Pinamungahan, Balamban, and Toledo City to the west of Cebu City. Each town has their own unique festival dances, sumptuous delicacies, and of course, their version of the Cebu Lechon. Provincial officials announced that the next leg of Suroy-Suroy Sugbo is the Urban Adventure Circuit slated in September.
So many destinations that is multi-awarded world. It's basically the promotion of it. So we are also helping that.
And PSA for travelers. All domestic flights of AirAsia will be reassigned at the Terminal 2 of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA starting July 1st, while international and local flights of Cebu Pacific will remain at Terminal 3. All international flights of the Philippine Airlines were earlier moved to Terminal 1, while domestic flights are still at Terminal 2. The Manila International Airport Authority began terminal reassignments of the airlines in April to maximize the airport's capacity. After defeating 60 other students in a biology contest, Shara Tangatue, Aisha Ong, Andre Au, and Carlos Yusoya will now compete at the 34th International Biology Olympiad or IBO in July at the United Arab Emirates. Tangatue has already won 2 bronze medals in the competition, so organizers are hoping that the Philippines will finally bring home the gold. In the week-long IBO, participants need to solve 100 theoretical questions and perform up to 4 laboratory works. Filipino fisherman and habal-habal driver Roland Abante wowed everyone during his audition on America's Got Talent or AGT. He most importantly impressed the show's judges, Howie Mendel, Heidi Klum, Sofia Vergara, and Simon Cowell, in his rendition of Michael Bolton hit When a Man Loves a Woman. Aside from 4 yeses, Roland also received a standing ovation from all the AGT judges. Some of them even posted praises for his performance. And for Judge Sofia, the Pinoy Baladir is now an instant star. Roland's viral audition piece now has more than 1 million views. And news from San Miguel Corporation. The company reveals its latest goal to hit net zero emissions by 2050. SMC President and CEO Ramon Ang says this goal of cutting the diversified conglomerate's carbon footprint will help SMC become better socially and environmentally.
This includes uplifting the lives of at least 15 million people by 2030, adopting a circular economy approach, and building a fully sustainable supply chain by 2040. And lastly, achieving net zero emission by 2050. All these businesses are working to complete a comprehensive roadmap to allow us to reach this goal.
It was a festive sight at the Manila South Harbor as Qiji Guang, China's biggest naval training ship, recently visited, a first in close to half a decade. Well-wishers waving Philippine and Chinese flags and a lion dance welcomed China's Navy ship. The Philippines is the last stop of Qiji Guang's 4-nation ASEAN tour, calling it a friendly one. Close to 500 PLA Navy officers and students were on board the naval training ship. Young Chinese nationals studying in the Philippines were among those eager for Qiji Guang's port visit. The Chinese Navy ship's visit is seen as the Asian powerhouse's attempt to foster better ties with the Philippines. According to a report from Reuters Institute, short-form video app TikTok has seen the fastest growth among social media platforms as a source of news in the country. Those who access the app for news rose to 21% this year compared to just 2 recorded in 2020. Tech giants Facebook and its messaging app Messenger and YouTube remain the front runners. Despite this, many are still patronizing news from television and radio, especially those who are not always online. Here's a heartwarming story. Vegetable vendor Nanay Aba from Bacoor, Cavite rescued dogs that were almost thrown. According to Nanay Aba, she heard a woman said that the dogs will be led astray because their owner doesn't want them anymore. Nanay Aba to the rescue as she stopped the woman and took Ambal, Pico, and Sasa even if she already has 10 dogs. This will result to added costs and effort, but Nanay Aba says these don't matter because their dogs make her and her kids happy. This Dengue Awareness Month, we highlight how we can protect ourselves and everyone around us from the viral infection, as well as managing this disease.
So the name of the mosquito is Aedes, and it's endemic in the Philippines, meaning it can be seen all year round. It lives here already in the country. So actually, we're sometimes just not aware that we have had dengue already because only 1 out of 4 infections do present with symptoms. So that's around 25% lang, and 75% they're asymptomatic, but they are infected already with dengue. So sometimes also we could just parang i-ano mo lang siya as lagnat-lagnat lang, trangkaso lang, but actually nagka-dengue ka na pala, you're just not aware because it's really sometimes really mild lang. It's usually the secondary or your second infection that gets severe, and it's usually because of the more severe inflammatory response of your body due to the virus. Dengue is a very important topic here in the Philippines because kung before we only saw it during rainy seasons or the cases were highest during the rainy seasons, but now you can really see it all year round. Even during the summer month, I still see a lot of dengue cases. So it's very important for parents to be aware what symptoms to look out for, when to bring their child to the clinic or to the doctor. Although the fever in dengue is really persistent, especially during the first few days, the abdominal pain is mas malala, ang abdominal pain siguro in dengue. So maybe those are some of the pointers that we could help our parents distinguish from flu and dengue.
In sports, Nika Juris Nicolas is the country's first ever female chess national master, and she's only 10 years old. The recognition came after she won the Under-11 division of the National Youth and Schools Chess Championship Grand Finals. She was the only woman in the competition and earned the awards after only more than a year since learning chess. Her mom says it's a dream come true for Nika, who dreamt of joining male-dominated competitions. The Philippine Azkals have finally put an end to their dry spell after taking down Nepal in a friendly match 1-0. It's also a sweet comeback for head coach Hans Michael Weiss in his second chapter with the team after nearly a decade. Both teams struggled to convert in a scoreless first half, but shortly after the break, Harvey Gayoso managed to find the back of the net in a wild scramble and scored the breakthrough goal for the Azkals in the 49th minute.
I can see all of the players, including Patrick, they matured a lot. Unfortunately, now they are not in the best physical condition, but I think the potential is really there, and I'm very positive for the future.
Goalkeeper Patrick Dato also delivered a solid performance, finishing with a clean sheet and was awarded the man of the match. The game also featured Stefan Schrock's surprise return in the 71st minute, 6 months after he announced his retirement from the national team. With the win, the Azkals finally clinched their first victory of the year to end their 5-game losing streak. And now for a 10-second trivia. What was the world's first roller coaster? Behemoth, El Toro, Promenade Aérien, or The Voyage? The Promenade Aérien was the first roller coaster in the world. Also called the Aerial Walk, this roller coaster made its debut in July 1817 in Paris. Passengers walked up a set of stairs to ride a bench down the 600-foot track at 40 miles per hour. French baker Nicolas Boujon opened an amusement park called Parc Boujon, where Promenade Aérienne was the most famous feature. And that's it for CNN Philippines 10. I am Diego Reyes, giving you news you can use, news you can trust in 10 minutes. Thanks for joining me today, and see you again next time.